Hey YouTube, Michigan Shooting News here. We're back at Rocket Guns again today for another installment of Gun Talk. Here with Adam Wilburn, and today we're going to be talking about rifles.
Rocket Guns, shoot to thrill, your Second Amendment headquarters.
Alright Adam, so we're back here today. We got lots of rifles on the counter, and you want to do a video talking about rifles. What do you want to cover?
Today basically is similar as we did the last Gun Talk video. I want to sort of structure this video about the different types of long guns that are out there, what's important to know about selecting a long gun, and sort of being able to do that efficiently is to kind of know where they came from.
Okay, well let's just do a brief history. Everybody can see here on what we got on the counter just a basically kind of an overview of where we started with long guns and how we kind of got to rifles. So let's clarify a couple things. In today's video, when we talk about rifles, when we say rifles, we're just speaking of long guns in general, because some people do make a difference in how they look at a rifle. In the traditional sense, is a long gun with a very long barrel for long range work, or more modern terms are like even this gun up front here. We would call this a carbine. That's a newer modern term. So today when we talk about rifles. So let's start at the beginning. We got muskets. This is what started our long guns. Basically, we go back about the Revolutionary War period. Black powder, single shot. This is a flintlock type firearm. This is a smoothbore musket. And that's where we start at. That's what fought the Revolutionary War, built the British Empire, and that's our foundation. What do you want to get next?
After that, we're going to go to this Harper's Ferry here, and this is a cap and ball conversion. You can kind of see on the side of the lock here where they filled in this flash pan area. With a traditional flintlock, okay, you have a piece of flint on the hammer, okay, and you would load it, from the muzzle and so forth, and then you have a flash pan where you would put a powder charge, and when the flint hits this here, it creates a spark and gets caught in a flash pan, ignites that, and then ultimately lights the charge inside the breech. So this is a conversion thereof where the lock was filled in with a piece of brass, and they converted this, okay, to a cap and ball percussion type long gun.
Okay. And that's essentially where we went with rifles. As we went more modern, we went from flintlock ignition to having a percussion cap, which made it easier to manipulate the rifle, load the rifle. It was faster, it was better for weather resistance, things like that. As we moved forward, we went into cartridge guns, and a lot of these types of guns were converted to use a cartridge.
We went from the flintlock over to the percussion conversions, and therefore the next step from here was a cartridge, okay? Back in the day, the first cartridges that came out were specifically rimfire, okay? And in regards to a rimfire cartridge, a hammer comes down and hits a firing pin and strikes the rim on the head of a cartridge, okay? What I'm holding in my hand came from a box of 1873 Frankfurt Arsenal 50-70 rounds. If we look at this very closely, I'm not sure if you can see on the camera, there's a crimp in what was a rimfire cartridge, and this crimp holds this flat disc primer. Okay, this is one of the most significant transitions from rimfire into centerfire ammunition, as we know today, being modern ammo. What this is a Benet priming system where it has this round disc primer. But this would have been that first cartridge that transitions from rimfire into centerfire as we know it today.
And that was our moving into the 1860s, 1870s type era. When we go farther forward, more modern than that, now that we're in cartridge guns, we'll move into these firearms here, like this is a slide action or a pump action rifle. And we move into, here's a shotgun, but for example, same thing, a slide action with a hammer. But when we get into cartridge guns, we get more modern in firearms. This would have been our next step up. This is a 03 A3, well, it's been actually a 1903 Springfield. Bolt action, our modern cartridges. This is about the turn of the century design, comes from the Mauser line. And in this one, you're going to have what most everybody knows, even in a modern military rifle, modern hunting rifle. You have a bolt action, you can open Cartridges are loaded from a clip. You'll put these in here. When the rifle's loaded, you close the bolt. You can fire the rifle and cycle another round. That was our turn-of-the-century technology that brought us into what we now today know as modern rifles.
And how did you say you load that, Chris?
You'll load this rifle from a clip.
Now stop right there.
Okay.
Explain to me the difference between a clip and a magazine.
Okay.
Because I hear this terminology coming in, everybody's asking for a clip for their handgun, and I just don't understand.
Okay, well, here's the difference. At the turn of the century technology, and I think we've got a demonstration here. Here, I'm going to take that rifle for a second. We'll talk about a clip. Before magazines came along, the detachable type magazine, which came along about 1880 in its first concepts, we have a clip. This is a clip of ammunition. It's just a metal, it's a piece of steel, would hold anywhere between 5 and 10 rounds. This clip was loaded into a firearm that had a fixed box magazine internally. So therefore you would load that firearm with a clip, the ammunition would be stripped off the clip, and usually the clip would be discarded. That is a clip. That's the real definition of what a clip is used for. Let's move forward and be clear. Today, this is a magazine for an AR-15. This is what everybody should be calling a magazine. Terminology, people call them a clip. It's just a misnomer, but the technical correct answer, this is a magazine. It holds ammunition in a column. This magazine is made to be portable, light. It brings us forward in designs to where you can take this, place this in the firearm, expel the ammunition. You take this, take it out of the gun, put in a fresh magazine, and you're back in the game. Whereas with a clip, you would unload it, you would empty the rifle. When you were done, you would take another clip of ammunition, reload it, and throw the clip away. Whereas this can be reused. You can put more ammunition into this magazine and place it back in the rifle.
Here's a very old rifle. This is a Mosin M9130 bolt-action 7.62 Russian rifle. These are purchased widely today. It's very popular. Pretty much just for, recreational shooting. Okay. Regarding this gun, this kind of shows that, old guns still have a place today.
Absolutely. And that gun is actually a little more popular than what you mentioned, because this firearm today is used in the military vintage bolt-action shoots. Like you said, they're just prevalent because they're affordable, the ammunition is affordable, and there are certain places around the country, people hunt hogs with these, people hunt deer with them. They still have a good modern application. The next thing we're going to take a look at is a modern bolt-action rifle, and we'll talk about what the application for a modern bolt-action rifle simply comes from our bolt-action military rifles that have been used in a sport configuration for deer hunting, all types of game hunting, long-range target shooting, military sniper rifles. So let's talk about, what do you want to mention about this rifle? This is what kind of rifle?
This is a Seiko 75. There's a lot of guns out there that look like this. This just happened to be something that came in on consignment. This is going to be, people look at this and go, what am I going to do with that? That just looks like it's a hunting gun. Okay, this gun, chambering is extremely vast in guns like this. Anything down to a 22 long rifle all the way up to a 50 BMG. And so, sort of when you see a rifle like this, the chambering is sort of kind of delegates what the use is going to be. So, when you see stuff like this, again, it can be anything from recreational target shooting to big game hunting, or anything like that. Moving from the bolt action into the semi-autos, and then when we talk about rifles specifically, let's grab some of these Eagle Black guns.
Alright, so we'll start right here with the gun that everybody knows, the AR-15. There's a million configurations and ways to buy them and features and how you want them, but essentially this is our modern semi-automatic firearm. Of course, the military version is select fire, fully automatic and semi-automatic both. This is what everybody knows. This was the modern evolution from bolt action. We moved from bolt action, coming into World War II. This was the step forward in this concept. Semi-automatic, select fire, uses a magazine, and uses more than 10 rounds. First magazines for an AR-15 were 20 rounds, and so on. And of course today now the options are limitless. Well, let's talk about when you buy a rifle. You know, we've talked about what the rifles are. Let's talk about buying a rifle for you. Fit and application is something to look at. I don't know what you're looking for. If you're looking for a hunting gun, if you're looking for a bolt action sporting rifle for just for target shooting, if you're looking for something to plank with, fit's a big thing. Fit is based on who you are. Are you a big person, small person? I like smaller firearms. I'm 5'4". You know, the guns that appeal to me more are these, even like this Springfield. It doesn't have such a long barrel. It's got a little shorter stock. The Mosin, you know, isn't bad for me since I'm a small guy. It's got a short stock but a long barrel. Some of you might want a gun that's a longer barrel, long range for target shooting. So we'll go back to, like you mentioned, the Seiko rifle before. That's something you generally put up on a bench. You'll hunt varmints with from more of a prone position. That's a good all-around fit for a lot of people because it's not something you're going to handle offhand. If you're looking at modern rifles, if the AR-15 is your thing, you want an AR-15, you want an AK-47, AK-74 platform. Those are your smaller, lighter rifles. AK-47s, AK-74s, AR-15s of all the configurations and the more modern guns even than that can be used for target shooting as well. A lot of guys use them in these modern military matches. Of course, 3-gun is popular today. Some people want to get into that. When you want to get fit, you want to get a rifle, you want to do it right. Come in and put your hands on one. Don't rely, like we told you with the handguns, don't rely on that internet research. Everybody fits something different. Every gun feels different to some people. I'm an AK-47, AK-74 type guy. I like the fit and feel of those firearms. For some people, they just don't work. Stocks, heights, everything, it just doesn't do it. So you might be an AR-15 kind of person. You got to get your hands on it, get some experience with it when you buy a rifle. Come in and look at them first. Come in and see Adam. Come in to shoot the thrill range. Get your hands on one. Take a look at one. Make sure it fits. Just hold it up and put it around your shoulder and make sure, hey, this seems too heavy. This seems too long. Get your application in mind. If it's going to be hunting, look to build your rifle that way. If it's just for planking, it's pretty much an open game. You can do what you want. But make sure you get a good fit to you. Don't just buy something because it looks cool, or you may buy it and hate it, or whatever. Do it right the first time. Get you a good rifle, fits you good, and it has a good fit to your application that you're going to take it out and feel it for.
Absolutely. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Chris, I appreciate you coming out today.
Thank you very much. So, hey, this is Adam Wilburn, Rocket Guns, Shoot the Thrill, your Second Amendment headquarters. I'm Chris Tumblr from the Michigan Shooting News. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video.